Malcolm, great to meet you.
Same here.
This is such a fun film and you've got a fab cast. Why did you almost say no to it?
You know, who told you that? Yeah,
I may have done some research.
Yeah, that's fine. You know, here's what happened. I was coming off a very busy 2016, and I hadn't spent a whole lot of time with my family. I was looking forward to doing that and the rollout of Girls Trip. And so I wasn't ready to go back to work right away. And even, you know, when I got the script, I was like, boy, this needs some work. But, you know, the end result is good. I'm glad I did it. And my wife's still with me. And my kids have not disowned me. I've been locked out. So it's good. I mean, you know, it's just, you find energy that you didn't think you had, and you put it together.
I mentioned the fab cast that are led by Tiffany and Kevin. When you work with great comedic actors like them, great comics, how do you direct them? Do you give them free rein and go off you go and ad lib, or do you have to rein them in sometimes?
No, I think it's a combination. You know, it's a little push and pull. You want to you think what you've got on the page is good, and you always want them to expand on that and give their interpretation of it. Sometimes the interpretation doesn't quite work. Other times, you know, it's spot on and it's better, way better than you expect it to be. That's why you cast really funny people, that will embody the characters and have their own kind of sense of humor that they can use on this other person's sense of humor, and that sometimes can be a great volley back and forth. So, you know, you definitely give them the freedom to expand and do their thing.
Tiffany's been around for a while, but it was Girls Trip that propelled her to the world's attention. When you first saw her audition tape, what was it that you went, I must have her in the film?
You know, it was tough. That role was vital to the story of Girls Trip. So we wanted to make sure that we had somebody in there who could really do improv and be funny and charming. And so she's kind of a wild child, so you want to make sure that you like her. So, you know, the thing is, I looked at her audition. She made me laugh, and then it came down to a couple of different people. And when I look back at the tape, every time I watched it, she made me laugh. And that wasn't the case for everybody. They were all great, but Tiffany consistently made me laugh, and she's so warm and genuine and authentic. So, you know, you just knew that all her antics, you forgive her for them, you know, yeah. and you'd ride along with her.
I watched Girls Trip again last night. I laughed, I cried. The thing that annoys me about when I mention the word Girls Trip is everyone says surprise hit. And I have to steal someone's words. Jeff Yang, a journalist, has said, this is ridiculous. As both Will Packer and Malcolm D. Lee were both known and established quantities, it was the closest thing Hollywood had to a sure thing. So after 20 years, after proving yourself in film and television, does it get frustrating that people go, oh, this was a surprise hit. He's now up there in Hollywood?
You know, I will say this. You know, I think that Girls Trip for me, Will aside, I mean, was my biggest hit, you know, personally. You know, I've had movies open really big before also, Best Man Holiday and others. But, you know, it's like, it's just because of the territory a little bit. And you just kind of ride the wave, try not to take it personally, and just say, okay, well, I'll just, hopefully, you know, you keep underestimating me. That's not a problem, you know, and hopefully I'll keep surprising you.
Well, hopefully you do surprise us, because now you've got Blackmailed Productions is going to go more into TV, into film as well. What's something that you're dying to share with the world? You
know, we've got a couple of projects. I can't really talk about them specifically, but, you know, we're going to expand on the brand of Blackmail Productions. Is like, you know, bringing stories about African Americans and people of color in general, and expanding on those stories to make those stories that are universal, but just happen to have a black face on them.
Well, bring it. I cannot wait to see what you're going to give us.
Thank you very much.
In the meantime, we've got Night School.
Yes.
Malcolm, thank you so much.
All right.